You need to know in the Daily Brew today, the Calgary Hitmen of the WHL, the Pillows always drive me crazy too, their 30th annual teddy bear toss. This is always so much fun. When Calgary's Ethan Moore scored the Hitmen first goal, the teddy bears went flying on to the ice. Now, it's not to this extent, right? But we see this in kind of here locally at the UAFS game when they do this for basketball, but this is very different. This is like, what is it? How many people can fit in this arena?
So I think roughly close to 15,000 people, maybe a little bit over 15,000 people. It's a pretty big arena, and they've been doing this for 30 years, and the record was just under 30,000 teddy bears, and they tried to get there. They, quote unquote, only got to 26,000, but it's a really cool event, happens every year, and it has to come on a goal. And they didn't score till the third period, so I think everyone's kind of getting anxious, like, okay, no one's scoring, like, what if we get shut out? So the player that scored, Ethan, he was quoted as saying, like, he was just relieved that they were able to score. All these teddy bears were thrown on the ice, so then eventually they'll, tomorrow, or I should say today, excuse me, they're all going to gather, get all the teddy bears, and then the players themselves are going to go with these donation agencies, especially the Ronald McDonald House there in Calgary, and donate to the kids. So a really good cause.
Yeah, that is awesome. And you know, like, it means so much to these kids. And what a fun story too, like, just to witness this, I feel like it would be so neat. But okay, I do want to know, has it ever happened where there was a shutout and they didn't score? Because I'm guessing they still collect them at the end.
Yeah, I think they still collect them. I think it's just you don't get the,
That's what makes the experience so fun.
Yeah, and it's really rare that people get, but they do get shutouts. That's actually a good question. I would love to know. I'm assuming, because everyone brings one, I'm assuming they'll probably like drop off bins or something. Because you don't want to be like, well, I guess you're not going to donate them. But of course they are, but yeah, it's just very interesting. And notice how they're all bagged up so they stay clean and all that.
Well, for sure you don't think, on ice, like that would get messy in a hurry.
Yeah, I was going to say, especially if, someone started bleeding on the ice or something. So, but yeah, no, it was very cool. And yeah, like you bring up a good question, Tiffany. I'd love to know what would happen if they got shut out.
I think what's so neat about this too is they do this for over 60 local donation agencies. That's how many people they give these bears to. And then over 400,000 bears over the last 30 years. And so they have just probably made the days of so many kids through something as simple as grabbing a teddy bear and taking it to your favorite team's game, right?
Exactly.
I've never been to a hockey game.
You got to go, Tiffany. I mean,
I've heard that they're one of the most fun sporting events to attend.
They are. Arkansas does have a club team, and they play over in Springdale, so maybe you have to go check it out.
There you go. I need to check that out. And then that will prepare me for the NHL game, right?
Exactly.
All right. Well, Iowa State and Kansas State were both fined $500,000 for skipping bowl games this season. The Big 12 was fining Iowa State and Kansas State $500,000 each. And the two schools, they made their decisions following coaching changes last week. This comes after being left out of the college football playoffs. Notre Dame football also decided to skip out on the bowl season. So, okay, how do you feel about this? Your thoughts on it?
Yeah, so I'm an Iowa State alum.
Yeah,
so
would you have liked to cheer them on?
So here's the thing about, I think, all three. I don't know about Kansas State for sure, but Iowa State and Notre Dame, the players voted, and they said they didn't want to play. Now, I don't know if that was, overwhelming majority or what, but they did go to the players, and especially for Iowa State and Kansas State, as you mentioned, it was on a coaching change. So you have a lot of coaches that are already gone. Matt Campbell, the Iowa State coach, he's going to coach at Penn State. He's already taken some offensive and defensive staff with them, and a lot of players are going to probably hit the transfer portal. And this is kind of the sticky situation of college football, is you can start transferring immediately after your season's over, even before then. So a lot of times these bowl games, it's going to be tough because you have coaches changing and people already leaving. There are some schools that will be playing in bowl games, but yeah, Notre Dame, that was more of a kind of out of spite for the college football playoff. Iowa State, they didn't have a chance at it. So it is tough because Kansas State, they also changed coaches. So yeah, I mean, I'd love to see them play, especially for seniors that maybe we're like, oh, like this is my last chance. I'm never going to play football again. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, now I don't get to play.
Yeah, I personally don't understand this. I don't think I would have voted against it just because it's like you had this season with your team. Like, don't you kind of want to see that at the end, right? Like, come to fruition.
Yeah, it's tough. And I know some players, especially I think maybe not underclassmen, but like let's say you still have a year left, like you don't want to get hurt or, you committed to the coach, right? And all of a sudden he's gone. Yeah, it's tough. I've never been in that position, so I can't say for sure, but it is kind of disheartening, especially because I am an Iowa State guy. Like, I would want to see them play. Yeah, they didn't have the best season, but and then Notre Dame, we were just talking about the Pop-Tart Bowl last week. They would have played in the Pop-Tart Bowl, and now they're not playing it. I want to see someone will get assigned to the Pop-Tart Bowl. BYU is from the Big 12. They'll play someone in the ACC, but yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it's tough, but don't know. I still would want to see him
I
play.
feel like that's kind of the problems with NIL, transfer portal, just the way things are changing. You have people like, 10 years ago, this would have been a big deal. You never would have done this.
Right, yeah, and I think the big change was not even before NIL. Christian McCaffrey plays for the Niners. At Stanford, he opted out of a bowl game his senior year or junior year because he's like, I want to get ready for the NFL. I'm going to be a top 10 pick. And now all of a sudden you start to see a lot of players now opt out. And like you said, with NIL, with the transfer portal, now so many players are doing it. So you might be getting Miami versus, whoever. I know they're in the playoff. Let's say, Iowa State versus somebody, but their team's like a skeleton roster because all the guys left. So it's tough. I don't love it. Hopefully some change can come in the future.
Yeah, but hey, Ole Miss is still going with their new interim coach.
I was going to say, I'm rooting for him. Come on,
I know.
come on,
I
Lane.
kind of am too.